You may have heard that those that don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. That's why it's so important to understand the historical perspective of management. And really, to understand the historical perspective of management, we need to look at the context. Management has changed a lot over the last couple hundred years, but just think about how much the world has changed in the last couple hundred years. 200 years ago, it was small communities, farming communities, very small markets. People were focused on just surviving, trying to eat. Businesses had not really formed until the infrastructure was put into place and canals were built and then railroads and ships and so forth that expanded markets. Until capital markets were put in place that allowed people to have access to capital, to follow their dreams, to create new products and services, businesses did not have the form that they do today. Until scientific knowledge increased and reached out to the masses that allowed many, many, many more people to really experiment and learn and create and be entrepreneurs, business was not able to evolve. Another important factor is property rights. In the past, if you created something new, whoever the aristocracy was or the government or the leaders could take that away, maybe leave you dead in the path. Whoever the leaders were, the aristocracy, the government could take that away and you wouldn't benefit from creating new things. So all of these factors, new technology, new infrastructure, new knowledge, property rights, capital markets, all these things created a perfect storm that allowed for prosperity to take off and new businesses to form. Economies of scale became important as factories dotted the land. Larger markets were available so people could make lots of different product and send that out. Now, when the Industrial Revolution first started, managers looked at people as kind of a resource and didn't really care much about them. They were expendable. If something happened to them, even death, then they would just put someone else in that position. So management was not very sophisticated. Over time, employees band together into unions and whatnot and created this environment that demanded better treatment. Then managers realized that treating people better would be more effective. And they saw increases in productivity as they changed their management practices. So it's important that we look at the history and look at the context and see how management has changed. Even in the last 30 years or so, we've seen big changes in management, changing from the authoritarian top-down type management to a much different approach where managers, and we'll talk about this in later topics, the servant leadership and knowledge leadership and managers trying to impact their employees in different ways. And much of that is social in nature, reaching out, understanding, building relationships, understanding what the needs of the employees are, and looking for ways to help fill those needs, to motivate in different ways. Skipping all the way forward to today, we see a very different management style because employees expect different styles in management. They're motivated in different ways. It's important to take the lessons from the past and apply them today to be more effective managers.